I did find a 2-person game. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to turn it on and talk through it. And please make this interactive. Okay. So if you don't understand something I said, or you're trying to figure out why the refs are doing what they're doing, go ahead and ask me. Like, we don't need to scream through this. Even if we get through only 10 minutes of it, it's okay. All right.
Okay.
So I will ask you for the sake of the video quality, if you just turn your videos off, and we'll get going here.
Videos or audios?
Videos. I want to hear you.
Okay.
That's
Come on
the
now.
audio too. Let her lip read the questions. Oh, can't do that because.
All right. Where's my?
Thank you, honey.
Can you guys? Come on. I don't care about that. Hold on a second. This is very inconvenient.
We went through some videos with my mentor. I actually think those are really great ways to, just to learn. If we can't be on the court, it's just to be able to see what's going on and try to decide what we would do or what would happen. I think that was really good. I mean, still, it'd be better if we could get on the court, but obviously that's tough.
All right, so this is second best.
This is Carl. I have connected with the mentor, but he had some family issues with his mother, and we have not been able to get together to do anything since.
Who is that?
I'll have to look it up. I can't remember. I think it was a Mike somebody.
Yeah, Mike Sato. Mike and also Mike Weisner were in it.
And there was this Mike Sollier. There's a lot of Mikes.
Mike Sato.
Okay. Yeah, his mom is really sick, and so we're looking for somebody to take over that group. Have you haven't been contacted yet?
Not yet.
Sent.
And
Carl and I are in the same group.
Carl and who?
Roger.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I will double check with Brian because we had been talking about that. I thought he had taken care of it. So we will check it out for you.
And Roger, if you ever want to get together, just the two of us and look at stuff, I'm happy to do that.
Sure.
I live in Gig Harbor.
Yeah, I'm not too far away. I was in Japan for about a month, and I just got back over the weekend, so I'm starting to. Yeah, I was watching one of the last video that you guys had about pivot feet and that sort of thing. Anyway.
Oh, the traveling stuff. Yeah.
Traveling, yeah.
And actually, there's a couple of videos I hadn't posted yet that Steve Latimer gave me. That there's a basketball player who, like all the moves players make, and you're like, God, was that a travel? Was that not a travel? He kind of walks through all of them and explains what's legal and what's illegal. So I need to post those because it'd be really good for all you guys.
That would be helpful.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so we're going to start here, 7th grade.
Good place.
A game we could be doing.
I can turn the sound down a little bit because we don't really need to be hearing this crazy announcer. Okay, do you guys remember the duties of the officials for a jump ball? Somebody jump in and tell me what we're doing here.
One throws the ball up and the other one makes sure that everybody is in the proper position.
And what is the other one in front of the table? So the whole sequence. So just to review, the sequence is the guy at the table or the gal makes sure that the table's ready. Okay. And then the person that's going to toss the ball looks at them and they acknowledge that the table's ready. You just nod your head or however it works. And then the throwing and tossing official goes into between the two players and makes sure that they're giving him enough room. A lot of times the players, get right next to each other and they give you no room to toss the ball. Okay. So have them back out a little bit if you have to. Get right between them. Don't try to lean in and toss it because your toss will be terrible. So get right.
The table referee also chops in, correct?
Correct. So as soon as the referee that's going to toss the ball, he gets right before he steps in, he's going to turn his head away and blow his whistle. You don't want to blow it right in one of the kids' ears because they're really loud. So that guy's going to blow his whistle. And at that time, the guy at the table is going to put his arm up, ready to chop the ball once it's touched.
Okay.
Okay. Another thing to remember is that the guy that is tossing, as soon as he blows the whistle and steps in, he drops the whistle out of his mouth so that in case he gets hit with an elbow, he's not going to crack his teeth.
Nice.
Very important. Okay.
Good safety tip. Is you have the referee in charge and the second referee. Does it matter who tosses the ball, or is that just?
You know what?
You
On
guys,
these games, you get 2 people assigned to the game and you just figure out who's going to toss and who isn't.
Okay.
Typically, if I'm working with one of you guys, I'll have you toss for practice. And so that people, it kind of gives credibility to you, even if you haven't done it before. So
It's harder than it looks to tossing a ball.
It is.
It's harder than it looks.
I'll just toss it to the black guys.
and then, and
The
then
guys
what?
in black. I'll just toss it to the guys in black by accident.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So he's going to blow his whistle. Hopefully he's going to blow his whistle. You don't have to point to say who's going where. You just want to make sure that the jumpers are pointing opposite their basket, opposite their benches, okay? So if this is the first half, the right-hand bench will be the dark team, and the left-hand bench will be the white team, okay? So here we go. So the guy at the table's checking the table.
So wait, one quick question here. These are teams for the same high school?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Okay, just, I don't know, for fun or whatever, I don't know what. Okay,
I don't know if they're teams from the same high school, if they're teams that are just wearing uniforms from the same high school.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
I don't know. All right. Okay.
Or they forgot their team. It happened at SPU. The traveling team forgot their uniform, so they played the other team with the home and away uniform.
Nice.
So this guy's blowing his whistle here, drops it, steps right in between the players. You see that? And up the ball goes. As soon as it's touched, the guy at the table needs to be right on the center line. It looks like he's standing off to the side. It's just a little nit, but you want to stand right on the center line. Okay?
Doesn't that block the guys at the table?
For a half a second, it doesn't matter.
Not
Okay.
worry.
They're not making the calls, you are. Okay, so who's gonna go where? Before we look at it, does anybody know?
Yeah, and that's what the things I want to know is the rotation, because I have no idea. Now, has he chopped it in because it was tapped?
Yes,
As soon as it's tapped, he chops in. Okay.
correct. Okay,
That was on the test.
yes, that's right. It's live when it's tossed, but you don't start the chop the
till
clock until it's touched.
yeah, I
Right.
just wanted to be sure.
Yep. So anyway, so typically, most of the time, the tossing official is going to become the trail, and the guy at the table is going to hustle to whichever end line the play is going towards and become the lead. Okay? So let's see what happens here. So see, he's going to become the trail. The other guy goes down to the lead. Make sense?
Is
Okay.
it smart for him just to stand where he is at first and let them get past him and then move?
Absolutely.
That way he doesn't trip over anybody and look foolish.
Correct. Okay, so right now, the trail official needs to be where he can see between these players and not be behind them. Okay, so he needs to move up here somewhere,
Top of the
Not-
key-ish.
not facing them, but keeping his shoulders at a 45 degrees so he can see the space, but he's also aware of what else is going on. And he's kind of slowly making his way there. See, he can see between them. I still think he's too high. I think he needs to get a little bit lower because right now he's relying on his height to see this action. If this was a taller player, he wouldn't be able to see it. So I'd like to see him come out here. Okay. And the guy that's the lead, since the ball's on the trail side, he's in close down, which is just a step outside the key. He's in a perfect spot, 45 degrees.
If the play is on this side, should the guy under the basket be over on this side? Or is that a good kitty corner is good then?
We want to stay opposite.
Okay.
Unless there's a real reason for that guy to come across. But remember, I don't know if you remember, it was so long ago. If the guy on the baseline comes across, that doesn't mean the trail's going to the other side. So you're going to have two officials on one side.
Mhm.
And if anything happens over here while they're both on the side, the other side of the floor, then it's not great. So there are times when we want this guy to come across for a very specific, like a post who's dominant and is posting up here. You might want to come over and referee that, but then you got to get back because this is still your area over here. Okay.
Clear.
Speaking of primary coverage areas, can somebody describe to me the lead's primary coverage area? What does it encompass?
The lead is, and I'm not quite sure, but it's like the foul line extended. It's like a box foul line extended, and maybe I'm wrong, but it goes into the middle. But he has just that box, like right where he is to the end line.
If this is where's the free line?
Is it the full key?
It's the whole key and the
Okay.
box on his side from the
Right.
free throw lane extended down to the end line, across to this side of the key, and that whole box.
Okay.
And the L that's left is for the trail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So so this is part of the L because it's above the free throw line. So this is the trails. Now, if you notice, this guy's not doing the greatest job because he's looking right at the dribbler, right? What he needs to be looking at is where's the defender? Because the worst that this guy's going to do is maybe travel, which is, you don't want to miss, but your responsibility is to find the defenders who are going to cause trouble. So he should be looking down. He could take a step down so he could see between here and see this guy. Okay. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now we're getting below the free throw line. Okay, so now this is going to be the lead's play, right? As soon because there's the free throw line.
Yep.
So the lead has the primary defender. Oh, interesting. They got some replays going here. All right, so okay, so the trail was on our side. So the trail ran down the floor and became the lead here. And the lead ran down, and he's not here. He should be. Became the trail here. They just run down the sideline. Okay.
Is it because the transfer was so quick? I mean,
I think it's because they're being lazy because these kids aren't that fast.
okay. Because I don't even see the lead, but he's
Well, the lead is too wide, right?
he's off camera, so
Right. The rule of thumb is if you divide the key in half, okay, don't even get that complicated. If the ball's coming down the middle of the floor into the key or on the lead side, then the lead needs to mirror the ball. So if the ball's out here, then the lead's going to be out here. But if the ball's coming down the middle like it is, the lead wants to be enclosed down here. Okay. And if the ball comes down the opposite side, the lead's going to go to close down automatically. Okay. So in this case, nobody's in position. The trail's not in position and the lead's not in position. You see how these guys are just kind of jogging and his head's turned. First,
yeah,
when you're running,
he's not even looking.
so I'm going to tell you this because coaches notice you can miss every call, but if you hustle, they're okay. They're better with it. Okay. So once the ball is in transition, this guy needs to bust to the end line with his head turned backwards so he can see the play. So he's not busting and he's not looking. All right, whose primary is the ball right now? Trail or lead?
Trail.
Trail, right? And who's the primary defender?
30.
30. Is that a 3?
Yeah, 30 is the primary defender. So you need to know, like if you're here, you need to realize that if this guy steps in and causes a foul, then it's his call because that's a secondary defender. But if this guy reaches in, it's the trail's call because it's a primary defender. Okay.
Question on that.
Yeah.
If the primary misses the call, the secondary can call the foul, correct?
Yes, if it's
Obvious.
obvious, yeah.
Okay.
Because there might have been a reason, when you're standing down on the end line and it looks to you like there's a foul, but your partner hasn't called it and it's not really bad, there might be a reason why he's not calling it. Okay. So just,
My guess is you don't want the other referee encroaching into your area.
unless the foul is so bad that the whole gym can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sort of to baseball. It's like problems can happen if you start making the other person's call, because what if they're just slow making the call and now you got a bunch of problems.
Yeah, it's just not good for crew integrity. And unfortunately, you guys might be the victims of an overzealous partner who knows that you're new and is calling all over the place.
Yeah.
And you need to realize that might happen. And it's okay if you just, if you ask them what they're calling, why did you call that? Instead of getting in their faces, because sometimes they won't have a reason. And you've kind of made your point without being confrontational. Okay. See on that out of bounds, first he put his arm up and then he pointed. Do you see that?
No.
That's what you want to do.
I didn't see that.
Let's see. Not quite. I don't have fine-tuned controls here. Okay, so you're going to see, watch the lead when the ball goes out of bounds. See, put his arm up and then he pointed. And when he points, he's going to say the color. Okay, so what's wrong with this picture?
Well,
Somebody
they're
just-
not boxing in all the players.
They're not paying attention to any of the players.
Yeah, they're not playing. They're paying attention to 30.
Well, they're not
The-
paying, they're paying attention to the cone. That's what they're paying
cone.
attention to.
Yeah.
Or the guy outside the door.
This is a very bad look. It was good for this guy to notice it was there and to ask his partner to move it, but he needs to stay way back here and keep all the players in his view. He can tell him from down here. He doesn't need to go and watch him. Because if this was a little more contentious of a game, all kinds of bad things are going to happen back here. And trust me, I've been the victim of not looking at the players completely and had stuff happen and had coaches all over me. I had to whack a coach once because I missed something. Not because I missed it, because he just wouldn't let it go. And that doesn't feel very good, right? So
Okay,
Anyway.
define whacking the coach.
a technical.
Okay. Because I listened to a video a week or so ago, and it sounded like somebody had to beat up one of the coaches.
No. We just say whack. It's funny because I said something in a game, in a pregame to a high school kid, because he was acting out a little bit. And I said, you keep doing that, I'm going to have to whack you. And, among refs, to us, that's a T, right? And he kind of looked at me like, you can't do that. And I realized that he thought I was going to hit him. So, yeah, we have to be a little more careful about our language. All right, the cone's safe.
Isn't he still out of position?
Okay, so we're
Or is
gonna,
that okay?
there's a rule of thumb that I like to use, and everybody has their own, but I think this is fair. In a two-person game, it's really hard to cover a press because this guy can't run all the way down to the end and leave the whole press to this guy, right? And he can't necessarily always box in the players. If there's 8 here and 2 at the other end, he wants to stay and help with the 8, right? So it's very difficult, this new lead covering the press. But what I like to say, if there's 4 or fewer players back here, that he can leave it to this guy. Once there's 5, and I'm talking about pair, like matchups, if it's all 5 offensive players, he can get down. Okay. But if we have matchups like this, and there's more than 4 of them, then this guy should probably start out at midcourt. Now,
Okay.
he shouldn't be looking at exactly what this guy's looking at. Okay, this guy can cover the inbounds pass, and he's covering this defender because that's closest to him. So he shouldn't be looking at this guy. He should have his back to the sideline and be looking maybe at this guy, or maybe somebody back here running up to set a screen, right?
Or somebody who pushes off to get separation to come up and take the throw at midcourt or something. He's not going to see any of that.
The bottom line is he should not be looking at this, because that's what this guy's looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. So his position, he should have his back to the sideline. Midcourt, I'm okay with because there's a press, but he needs to be looking for other potential problem children. Okay. So this guy's counting a 10-second backcourt, which he should be doing. Still the trail's ball. The trail should be up here. This guy is not very mechanically sound, okay? All the players are down below the top of the circle. So he needs to be just a step above the top of the circle, okay? And trying to get a good angle, a good look between these two players. I can't see where the lead is. Here's one thing that's tough about being the lead in two-person. So just imagine if the guy was in the right place, right? Down here. And he's looking at this. This might be one of those occasions where he might want to go across, because over here, what is he refereeing?
Nothing.
There's nothing, right? But over here, there's this post up. So if he comes across, he'll do it. He's not going to look out here, which you all will do, but you're not supposed to. You come across and you get to your 45 and face this way, and then you can referee this guy. Okay. But if the ball doesn't go into him, then you probably want to get back. Okay. Because you want to have that kitty corner thing as much as possible. But in this case, everybody's over there. Nobody's in the leads area at all.
Right. So the lead's like way, he's not even in the game, really.
Yeah, I know. He could be in the close down, which is theoretically correct, but given this configuration, he should get over here. They're all still in the trails area. There's nobody over here. And if he was over here, he could cover a bunch of, he could cover this for sure. And if this driver comes in and a secondary defender picks him up, he'd have a better look over here than he's going to have over here. Foul called. What do we have for the foul? What are you going to call?
I thought the blue had position. Can we go back?
Yep.
And again, we don't have this. I guess once the ball came down, he went over his back.
But you know, these are hard, tricky plays, because if the play gets tied up high, right, and then the inside guy pulls the ball down and takes the other guy over his back, like if both these guys have their hands on the ball right now, which I'm not certain they do, but if they did, and then this guy, the white guy, pulled it down and pulled this guy over his back, that's nothing. Right? Because this guy didn't go over his back, but for the fact that this guy pulled him.
Yeah, that's why I thought, because when I first saw the play, it looked like the blue had position on the rebound. The other guy, but he didn't come over the back either. He's going up straight as well.
But yeah, at the end of the play, it looks like blue is coming over his back.
It does, yeah.
So you just have to decide right here if they both have their hands cleanly on the ball. And then if this guy pulls the other guy with his hands on the ball over his back, then you got nothing. Okay. However, you know, but these are smaller kids. So maybe the guy's just going with, you know, protect the players. Okay. So if you're going to call a foul on that, what do you call it?
There's no over the back. Is it a push?
I'd probably call it a hold.
Okay, because my mentor said there's no such thing as over the back. That's not a call.
And that's true.
So I couldn't remember what, I thought he said it was a push.
Well, if he pushes through the back, then that's a push. But in this case, he kind of held his arm as the ball came down. So I would call it a hold. Now, again, did you see this guy's reporting it from right here? Where's he
Yeah.
supposed to report the foul from?
Isn't he supposed to go to the table?
Closer to the table.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in the reporting area, which is between the free throw lines and from the table sideline all the way to the opposite lane line.
Now,
Okay.
because of that, doesn't the trail come and do the throw in from
Yes,
the baseline?
yes. So so I'm pointing this out to you because they're doing it incorrectly, and I want you to do it correctly.
Okay.
Again, this is probably their third game of the day, and they're being lazy. Okay, so this guy calls the foul, tweet, and he gives color, number, foul, consequence right at the spot. So he should stop right here where he calls the foul and say white 12, no fingers on the 12, but just white 12, hold, end line. Okay, and then he's going to run around the players, not through them, around the players to just above the free throw line towards the table and do the same thing, except when he does the number, he's going to use two-handed reporting. Okay, color, number, foul, consequence. Then he's going to keep going down the floor and his partner is going to come down here for the throw-in. All fouls, we switch. Okay. Okay, another nitnoid.
Yeah, isn't that the wrong place to throw it in? Shouldn't it have
Well,
been
the
on the
foul
other
happened in
side?
the middle of the paint, right?
That's true. You're right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I was
so this-
thinking at the other line, but you're right. It was in the middle.
You could bring it in if the call's in the middle of the paint, and you can bring it in here or here. But since he was here to start with, this is the correct choice.
Okay.
Okay, but just look at this. Okay, again, I don't know if you remember from way back in December, whenever we did this, when you administer a throw-in, you want to bounce the ball to the inbounder, except for the front court end line,
Which you hand the ball.
which you hand the ball. So he's doing the one good thing he's doing is he's outside the player. He's further away from the basket, which is where you want to be. Okay, but you want to get some distance so you can bounce the ball and focus your eyes down the floor to see what's coming. He's underhanding the ball, which is like an NBA thing. And he's looking right at the guy. So essentially he's leaving his partner to referee 9 players. Okay. So step away, bounce the ball to him. You can, if you're far enough away, you can see his feet in your periphery. So you know if he steps over the line, you don't have to look at him. And then you look further down here to see what's transpiring. That's good position. See, he's keeping him, he could be a little more 45. You know what I'm talking about when I say 45? So his shoulders are like 45 degrees to the sideline, but he's got a good angle between these two, and he's open up enough so he can see what else is going on down the floor. Okay. Again, you know, I'm glad I picked this game because these guys, I don't want to pick on them, but they're not being as sharp as they could be. Okay. So the pass goes to this guy and he just stands here and all he's seeing is his back. So he has no idea. Say again?
He should move down, shouldn't he?
He should move down here.
Yep.
Okay.
Oops.
So he doesn't want to be like ahead of them, but he could be even with this dude and see between them and, you know, have a little idea of what else is going on.
That actually, I don't know if you saw that, but he had to move his head to the left to try to see around the, it's very faint, but he knew he couldn't see. He had actually moved his head to the left a little bit to see where that ball was going.
Yep, I see. And you know
See
what?
where he
Yep.
feigned he had to do that because now he's, like you say, he's out of position.
So, you know, somebody once told me, and it's so true, if you feel yourself leaning, then your feet should be moving. Okay? You should never have, you know, sometimes you're going to have to lean because something weird happens or the kids are too quick and you can't anticipate it. But most of the time you can avoid, like he could have avoided this lean by just coming down here. Okay? And then as the ball dribbles away from him or moves away from him, he should be moving up and compressing with the players. You see all the players in this situation are like converging on the key. Well, he should be compressing with them. Does that concept make sense to you? He doesn't want to be at mid-court and have to make a foul call here because it looks completely unbelievable.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that's still the trails. That's the trails. See, he's way back here. There, he has no looks. He should be outside looking through.
Well, I think he missed the 53. I think it's 53 or whatever. I thought he hacked across 10s, but he couldn't see it from his angle. When it comes back, kicks it out. Watch here, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
He
Well,
couldn't.
yeah,
he
from this
couldn't
side,
see.
you have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, what did he not do there? On the out of bounds call, what did he forget?
Raise his hand.
Raise his hand,
Off the
okay?
clock, yeah.
So an out of bounds is a violation. Every violation, we have an open palm up and then we point, okay, in the direction of that the play is gonna go, okay? So that was a little nonchalant there. He should have gotten it up and pointed it forward.
At that point, does the clock even know to stop? I mean, the clock has to stop it just on his own then, right?
Yeah, at this point, you know, he's just assuming that the table knows when the ball goes out of bounds, they need to stop the clock. It's
So he
just-
doesn't have to blow the whistle?
Oh, he needs to blow the whistle. He puts his arm
Okay.
up and blows the whistle, and then he points, in this case, to the left and says, white. I think is it white ball? Black
Well, he's
ball. No, it's black ball.
White.
Black's
Yeah,
one.
White has
black
the
ball.
So he's just gonna go toot, black, and then hustle down. Now, since the ball's coming in over here, he needs to run around over here to the opposite, become the lead over here so that the trail can put the ball in here. You see what I'm
Well,
doing?
No, wait. He made the call.
He
You're
makes
saying
the
he has
call.
to go down,
He's gonna become the lead.
and why is that? Oh, because that's where he normally would be lead.
It's
I
not a
got it.
foul. He wouldn't be switching.
Correct. He would normally just come down here, okay? Now I have to rethink this. I don't want to mess you guys up.
I guess I'm wondering why he has to go all the way to the other side. Why
Well,
can't he?
where's the ball coming in? It's gonna come in right here. So either
Yeah.
he's gonna go over there,
Oh, I see, because
or
the
this
trail,
guy is gonna
the trail
run
now.
all the way down the floor. You see what I'm saying?
So the guy closest to us, he goes over there because the now trail is going to administer the throw in. I
Correct.
see. Okay.
It minimizes the running for both of them.
All right. See,
Okay.
these are the things I think are just going to screw me up on these games starting out.
Well, you know what? When you're going to be working with somebody who's done it before, and you're just going to go to where they're not.
Okay.
Okay, seriously.
In kitty corner.
Is that a good strategy? Go there.
Yes.
Go where they're not. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I can see that.
And if you don't understand, like if something really doesn't make sense to you, then on the next time out, say, why did you go there? I don't understand. And hopefully they can explain.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I assumed he was going to do the throw in, but
Oh, he is.
which he
Because-
is. Yeah.
No.
I'm not
So
saying
the
that's
other-
the right thing. I'm just saying that's what's happening right now. Okay.
And
Where's the other guy?
did he bounce the ball in?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
I thought in the baseline, you hand it, right? On the
Only in the
baseline.
front court. Only in the front court.
Oh, only in the front court. Oh, okay.
So when that guy made the throw in down here before, he could bounce it because this is the backcourt in that scenario.
Oh, okay. So if it's a change of possession, then you still bounce it. Okay, got it.
Okay,
I don't think I remembered that from training, but I get it.
okay. And
So,
that's just,
so
go
if
ahead.
White knocks it out of bounds under the basket, then Black takes it out under the basket and they hand it to him.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But on that change of possession, it's a bounce in, even though he tossed it underhand. Okay.
And
Yeah, we
here
don't
the-
want the underhand toss. We wanted a bounce. A
Yeah.
bounce or a hand. Okay,
And here the other ref is going the whole length of the court down to.
He
be
did.
behind.
He did get down to his spot. He hustled down.
Yep.
yeah, but that's real. He should have been here and this guy should be there. But we'll just press on, okay?
Okay.
So he bounced, but again, look where he's looking. He's looking right at him.
And nobody's even,
See these two, they could put chokeholds on each other and he would have no idea.
yeah, nobody's even contesting the throw in. So it seems,
So he needs again to have his shoulders at 45, bounce to this guy, but focus in here because this is the competitive matchup closest to him, right?
should he have been a little farther back, or does that not really matter if he just turned a little bit more?
He could just wherever he can see what this guy's doing,
Okay.
so he could be a step back. He certainly doesn't want to be up here because then he's in the way. Okay. So this guy's probably going to push off of him, or he's going to hold
Or he's
him.
going to grab him. Yeah.
Okay, so he's looking this guy's looking in the wrong place. That's all I want you to focus on. Okay, so now this guy's going to get the inbounds pass. Okay, that's the trails play. That's good position. Okay, do you see that? Any 3-point shot that's put up from your primary coverage area, you need to mark like he did with 3 fingers up. Okay.
Okay.
So that came out of his primary coverage area. So he's going to put his 3 fingers up. Okay. If it happened over here in the leads area, then he's going to put his 3 fingers up and he's going to do the same thing, mirror him. That we call it mirroring. Because this guy down here could get lost in the shuffle with big players in here and the table won't know. Okay. So,
But the lead won't mirror one on the
Correct.
outside. Okay.
Correct.
Only
we just always
with-
want this person to have their hand up.
okay. Trail always goes up.
Yeah, but he should only go up if if it's this guy's play. He should wait for this guy to put his up and then he puts his up. He shouldn't be looking at the play if it's down there.
Okay.
Okay, this shouldn't be simultaneous. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
And that's if the shooter's below the free throw.
Below the free throw line on the lead side, then that's going to be the lead call up to like here.
Okay.
Okay. When the shot goes up right here, it's a little tricky. You might have a double mark, but that happens.
I hope I'm not asking too many questions.
Oh, keep asking. Do you have another one?
No, I just didn't want to hog everything.
Well, these other guys can jump in if they need to. They've been doing that. Okay, again, too slow.
Mhm.
You guys are all going to be burning down the floor. And this guy, like, where is he? He should have been right up even with these players when that shot went up. I'm assuming he marked the 3.
I think the score is still 2-0.
I think so too.
These are 7th graders. Come on, this is your life for the next year or so.
And I don't
love it.
Say
I don't
again.
think he was really. I think he was.
Good shot.
It would have been a 2-point though, right? Because I think
Was it
it's
a
hard to tell where he.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. But whatever.
I see a foul coming somewhere here.
Saw it right there.
Okay, let's
Only if
work
the
it.
whistle blows.
I think I backed up a little too far, so. Well, that was a 3.
It was a 3.
Okay, if the ball had gone out of bounds there, whose call is it? Trail or
The
lead?
trail who's nowhere to be found.
right? It's
It
because
is.
it's the trail side. If the ball went out on the other sideline, it would be the lead's call because it's the lead side. Okay? It goes out on the end line, it's the leads. If there's an over and back possibility, it's the trails. But the kid saved the ball, so we're okay. All right, so when this player drives into the paint, who has his primary defender? Lead or trail?
Lead, I think, once he gets
Trail.
into the paint.
Where did the play originate? Who's
It's from
primary?
the
Trail.
trail.
Okay, so the mechanic says if the drive originates in the trails area, the trail's responsible for the primary defender all the way to the basket.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
I don't remember that. Okay.
And the lead is responsible for any secondary action. Okay. So then you have to decide who's the primary defender. Okay.
It's a tough one.
I tell you what, if you don't know, if you're the lead and you don't know, give the trail a crack. And if the trail doesn't call anything, then you can call something. In this case, it's not clear who's the primary defender. Okay.
I guess at this point it's 12 because he's more squared up to.
Yeah, but he was in the paint. See, when the drive started, he wasn't on him.
Yeah. Well, nobody was. When the drive started, nobody was on him. Not within the 6 foot.
I know. So, and that's usually how you determine primary defender, right? Like who's guarding the guy on his drive.
So at that point, yeah, there's, they're
So
closing.
I guess this guy's probably the primary defender. But it's like I said, it's very fuzzy. So let's just say this is the primary. So the trail would call this guy. And if this guy gets involved, then the lead would call it. And there's nothing. Do you know why that was a foul?
Because the defender moved into him and he didn't have position.
Well, we've gotten
Hand checked him.
he hand checked, and we've gotten, Carl, this has changed so much since you played for, like competitively. If a defender puts a hand on an offensive player and leaves it there, it's hand checking.
Mhm.
So in this case, this dude's going to be coming down the floor and watch his defender. Hand, see, he never lets go.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, again, he didn't go to the table like he should have to report. He should have come at least up above, if he was just above free throw line extended to here, he'd be in the reporting area because the reporting area is from here, from this elbow here, all the way down to the opposite elbow and towards the sideline. It's a huge area.
Mhm.
But it looks like he called a push.
No, he did a hand check.
Did he? Did I?
He
Okay.
did it really fast. Oh, you know what? Before we look at that, I want you to look at how he's running down the floor.
I thought he was watching the play pretty well.
He was, but just you should never backpedal. You should always run and look over your shoulder. So
Okay,
just
yeah,
watch him.
Backpedal, you're going to fall down.
Exactly. Then you're no help at all. So he should be running forward and looking over his shoulder. And it's good that he's called a foul, but that's one thing to warn you about. Now you're going to see here, he puts his fist up. That's good. And he's going to say blah, blah, but he does the hand check really fast. The hand check, you just put one hand over the opposite wrist and then you push the hand out, and he does it really fast.
Okay.
Watch. See, he just did a little. His hands were connected, even though it looked like a push.
Yeah, it was hard. Okay, I see it now.
Okay, so here's another one. Throw in from the end line. God, I didn't realize this was in two-person, but it probably is. Throw in from the end line. Okay, this guy's got his arm up and he's counting, right? Counting to 5. and he's going to chop as soon as the ball is touched. He's going to end his count as soon as the ball is released. I should have said that the other way. He's going to stop counting as soon as the ball is released, but he's not going to chop until the ball is touched.
Okay, now, shouldn't they have switched positions or no?
Yes,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
absolutely. They should have switched positions.
Do they
Okay.
both have to have their arms up and counting like that?
The only person who counts is the inbounding official, but if the throw-in comes in on the end line and we're going to stay in the front court, then this guy's going to put his hand up for the same reason we do on the three-point attempt. If there's big players down here, the table might not see this guy, he might get buried. So this guy puts his hand up only, he doesn't count, and they both chop when the ball is touched.
And if the
Okay.
guy in the far corner had gone to the reporting area, then he would have already been up half court and they could have switched sides.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't have, the ball was, that's true, because the foul happened right in the paint, right? So the inbounds could have come here or here. So if this guy would have come up to report, this guy could have just run down here and put the ball in play and they'd have been opposite. There's a little rule of thumb that we should inbound the ball on the side that the call came from. So there might be some purists out there who would say, well, even though it was in the paint, since the call came from this side of the floor, that the inbound should come from this side of the floor, which is not a big deal because then he could have run over there and he could have come over here. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Run to the table, don't walk. That's what college refs do. And we can't see what he's doing because. Okay.
Yeah, I missed that foul. I don't know if it was just really choppy, but I didn't see anything of what happened there.
Well, we won't go back to the foul. I want to look more at the positioning stuff. So
Okay.
it's going to be, I don't know if it was a foul either, to tell you the truth. It's going to be two shots. No, it's an and one, right? Didn't he call an and one?
Yep.
So in high school, this guy should never be on the floor. Okay. And you can see he's on the floor. That's another college thing. If it's the final free throw, he should be like a step outside the key. Okay. And if it's the first free throw, if there's going to be multiple free throws, he can be right up, like right up here because nobody's going to rebound the ball or do anything. But if it's the last one, he needs to be back far enough that he can actually referee some of the rebounders. Okay. This guy's got his two fingers up, right? Saying there's two shots. And as soon as this kid gets the ball, he needs to start a 10-second count. Does this ring a bell for anybody? So as soon as this guy gets the ball, see, he should be doing his two fingers when this guy's bouncing the ball. And then as soon as he gets the ball, this guy with the arm that's closest to half court should be counting out to the side, 1, 2, silently, because the free throw shooter gets only 10 seconds.
Is it demonstratively that he counts, or is it, I mean, because wouldn't that?
No, he could just count with his fist.
Okay, because you wouldn't want to interfere with
he could just like have his arm down by his side and just be going 1, 2.
Okay.
So that people can see, but you don't want to be like making all kinds of rackets. So
right. Yeah, because that would peripheral of the shooter. That wouldn't be fair.
Correct. So here we are.
Yeah, he wasn't counting at all.
No, he wasn't counting. And this is why we have to practice this on the floor. The last part so as soon as the shot goes up, he stops his count and he puts his arm up, okay? And he takes a step towards the end line. And the reason why he does that is because you see how the rebounders are all stacked? If you're too far back here as the trail, all you're going to see is backs. So you want to take a step down so you actually can see through some of them and help on rebounding. Okay? Make sense theoretically?
Why again does the arm go up?
Because if the shot is missed, then this guy is going to start time as soon as somebody touches the ball.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. And
Yeah,
if it goes in, then he drops his arm. And then this guy puts his arm up and starts counting while the other team takes the ball out of bounds. Okay.
Yeah, because if it goes in, the clock doesn't start until they throw it in, right?
Right. So once it goes in, this guy puts his arm down. This guy puts his arm up and starts counting the 5 seconds like a regular throw-in. Okay. There's a lot that we need to do on the floor so that you get this like little muscle memory for these simple things like free throws.
Is this a recent game during COVID? Is that guy sitting supposed to be wearing a mask or not wearing a mask?
No, this is an old, what does it say up here? I can't see.
2019, January, okay. So no, not even close.
All we had on that one was the flu.
Just your simple flu?
Yep.
We might have been having other things, who knows, but.
But you know what? This guy did the right thing on this throw-in, right? He bounced it to him, but his eyes were out here. These little subtle things. He could have stepped further away from the player. He was too close, like he could have handed him the ball as close as he was. Another thing you want to remember is you never want to bounce the ball across. No, I can't say that. In the front court, you never want to bounce the ball across. In the back court, you could bounce it across and it's not a big deal. Okay? The front court's the place that has all the restrictions. The rest of the sidelines and the end line in the back court, it's more loose. Now see his eyes? He's looking out, actually looking at the players, but I'd like him to step back a little more. Nice work. That's the best throw-in we've seen. He called 5 seconds. Okay. Well, God, I didn't mean to do that.
We were at like 3:48 or something.
We're in here somewhere.
4. Oh,
okay, when he calls the shooting foul here, tell me what he should have done mechanically. He called 5 seconds. That's okay. So he's going to call a foul. We're not going to worry about whether it's a foul or not. Clearly was. What should he do as soon as he puts air in his whistle?
His hand went up.
It did. What else does he need to do? Color, number, foul, consequence.
Oh, okay, yeah, but we can't hear that. We don't know if he did it.
But he's not, he's moving to, like, he's blowing his whistle and he's moving before he does anything, okay?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So he needs to blow his whistle and keep his feet still. And then he stands there like he's in concrete and he says, blue 42, hit. And then he runs to the reporting area and he does the same thing. In this case, that's not what he's doing. See, he just goes 2 shots. Okay, I'll walk to the table, which I'm not supposed to do. But they did switch on this foul. That was an improvement. See, and what about this guy? Is he in the right place?
No. He looks like he's going to rebound.
Yeah.
Because this is what the college officials do, okay? And so everybody thinks they're a college official and they do this, but the mechanic is this guy needs to get off the floor.
Yeah.
This guy should be counting. I don't know if he is or not, but we can't tell.
Doesn't look like it. So it's because it's 2 shots, that's why it was there, right? Because nobody's going to jump into the lane because it's the first shot, nobody's moving, right?
Right,
I
but
think that's what
he still should be off the floor.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is he must have felt like he didn't have to worry because there was another shot. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that he knew that nobody was coming into the lane, but okay.
Yeah.
So if we're off the floor, we're not going to be wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
And this guy, he didn't put his arm up because there's going to be another shot, so he doesn't have to chop anything. So he's just counting, and then the shot goes up, and then we're going to have the second shot. So now he starts counting. Oh, he is counting. And he took a step down. See that? This was well done. Put his arm up, took a step down. Ball went out of bounds. So now this guy's got his arm up. See how that works? When I come to watch you guys ref, I'm going to see you bust into the end line. Not like this.
That breakaway guy was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little choppy right now.
And he's only 14.
So it looks like the ball, did the ball go out of bounds here?
Yeah, I did.
No, we haven't even talked about subs. We'll have to do a demo on those. Nice locks. See, again, he didn't do color, number, foul, consequence. He just called the foul, said 2 shots, and off he went.
I'm having a little trouble, and it's my video maybe, because I'm just seeing choppy pieces, so I can't see really what's happening.
Is that all you guys?
Yeah, I missed that too.
Yeah,
I'm good.
It's fine for me.
Yeah, might just be us.
Let me check something here. Tell me if that's any better.
The video quality is worse.
It's worse.
A little bit, but the movement is easier to watch.
Yeah, I'm not getting the chop anymore.
You know, another thing I didn't mention is this guy is responsible for the shooter and the top 2 players here, right? I think he's too low. I think he's got great look at this guy, but he's behind these players. I don't think he has a clue about what's happening here. Okay. Actually, he has only this is the lowest guy. So actually he has only this guy and this guy. So maybe he can see them both. The bottom guy is this guy's responsibility, and the opposite 3 are this guy's responsibility. If they step in early and stuff like that. Okay.
Can you explain that again? I'm sorry. So the trail is responsible for who?
Trail is responsible for the shooter and the highest 2 on the other side. But you see the space here is empty.
Mhm.
So he's really only responsible for this guy and this guy. And the lead is responsible for the lowest one on his side and the ones everybody opposite.
Okay.
Okay. That's kind of a
So
weird.
So if the guy nearest us was a little bit further up towards the top of the key, he could look through the opening.
Yeah, if he was just a step higher, then he could see this and this.
Yeah.
Okay. And this dude is stepping the wrong direction. Instead of going here, he's bailing out.
He didn't really chop that in. His hand just sort of went down, but is that the same thing?
No, you want to be crisp. You know, the more crisp you are, even if you don't know what you're doing, you look like you know what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't look crisp.
Where's the trail? Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Must have hit the end line.
Yeah, that's what I think. All right, I'm gonna stop it here. It's already 7:35. I'm thinking about, you can go ahead and turn your videos on now. I'm thinking about doing more of these and having other people talk through them so you don't have to listen to me all the time because everybody has different perspectives. And I hope it's useful just to see.
I thought it was great.
Yes.
Okay,
I like it a lot.
yeah,
Without being able to be on the court, that's the next best thing.
yeah. So we'll just keep trying to do that every couple of weeks. If you, I will check on who was it was Roger and Carl in the group without a mentor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
With one of the mics.
I'll check to see what's going on there, because some of the groups are going pretty good. And then there's like one or two that's a little behind. So I want to get you guys going.
Yeah, I think watching film's best after everything we've done with the rules and all that. Now just to see it all put in action, I feel it's really helpful.
Okay. All right.
And it's
Now
hard
I
to-
learned a whole bunch of stuff that I would not have known an hour ago.
Well, keep most of it in your head. Some of it's going to slip away, but the more you see it, the better it gets.
And
Okay.
it was kind of hard to watch the ones that had 3 referees,
Yeah.
because then you're trying to figure out how that works with 2, and then with the 3, it just gets really complicated to figure that one out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my guess is Apprentice, we're doing all 2-man games, right?
Correct. 2-person.
2-person, sorry.
I don't care, but that's just,
No, I once said the girls in the office, and I was told that is not, we don't have girls in the office, we have women. So yes, I'm sorry.
you're not offending me, but you will offend others. So I'm just
Yes,
bringing it to your
I
attention.
understand that. I appreciate it, actually.
Okay. So you guys